You've been lied to. Every AI app builder out there promised you the same thing. Build anything, no code, launch fast, and every single one of them let you down the exact same way. You started building, felt good about it, and then hit a wall. You needed a database, you needed authentication, you needed integrations, and suddenly your so-called no-code project had 12 different tools plugged into each other, half of them paid, and one update away from breaking everything. That frustration is real, and it's not your fault. It's a fundamental flaw in how every other platform is built. They hand you a front end and call it done. The rest is your problem. Base44 just changed that entirely. And I'm not saying that because it has more features or a better interface. I'm saying it because it's the first platform that actually removes the problem instead of just dressing it up. I've tested more AI builders than I can count. This one is different. Stick with me and I'll show you exactly why. Here's what kills every other platform. It's never the front end. The front end is easy. AI can generate a decent looking interface in seconds. What kills you is everything that comes after. The back end, the database, the auth system, hosting, deployment, integrations. So you end up with Supabase for your database, Firebase for auth, Versal for hosting, Stripe for payments, and 3 more tools on top of that. All connected, all fragile, all costing you money separately. That's not a no-code solution. That's just a different kind of complexity. Base44 closes that gap completely. Database, built in. Authentication, built in. Hosting, built in. Analytics, built in. Integrations are built in. You're not wiring tools together. You're just building. To actually test this, I didn't just build one thing and call it done. I went across 3 completely different categories: easy, complex, and then something that should have broken it entirely. First, a portfolio website for a nature photographer. 1 prompt. Create a portfolio website for a nature photographer. Modern look, aligned with nature and animals. That's it. No extra instructions. No back and forth. Under 4 minutes later, fully designed, polished, structured, ready to publish. Not a rough layout. An actual professional looking site. But here's the part that really stood out. Midway through the build, an error came up. On any other platform, that's where you stop. You Google the error, you figure out what broke, you fix it, you start over. Base44 detected it, corrected it, and kept building. You didn't touch anything. You didn't even see it happen until it was already handled. That's a small thing on paper. In practice, it completely changes the experience. You're not babysitting a process, you're directing an outcome. Then I pushed harder. A full Trello-style productivity app, real-time Kanban board, calendar, task scheduler, user invites, proper database, live collaboration. Normally this is weeks of work. You'd need back-end architecture, auth flows, database schemas, API connections, and then somehow wire all of that into a front end that doesn't fall apart. 1 prompt. Build an advanced productivity app inspired by Trello. Real-time Kanban board with user collaboration, calendar, task creator, event scheduler. Proper database setup. Allow users to invite others to their workspace. It came back with a working app. The Kanban board is functional. Tasks can be created and moved. The calendar is integrated. User invites work. Everything updates in real time. Authentication is already set up. The database is handled automatically. No Supabase, no Firebase, no backend setup at all. It's just there. Then I tried something that breaks most AI tools completely. A 2D platformer game, like Dead Cells. Games are a completely different beast. You need physics, enemy behavior, level logic, combat systems, health bars, power-ups, animations. 1 prompt. Build a comprehensive 2D platformer game similar to Dead Cells. Dynamic levels, complex and polished gameplay, unique enemies and bosses. It came back with a playable character, full levels, multiple enemy types, a working combat system, power-ups, a health bar, all of it functional. A game, built from 1 sentence, same platform, same workflow, same simplicity. At that point, it was clear. Base44 isn't limited to a category. It handles whatever you throw at it. Now let me show you what's actually running under the hood, because this is where everything clicks into place. Every Base44 app comes with native authentication built in. You don't build a login system, you don't connect an external auth provider, it's just already there, ready to go the moment you need it. There's a native database inside the platform. That means no Supabase, no Firebase, no time spent configuring backend services before your app can actually store data. Everything is integrated from the start. Once your app is live, Base44 gives you built-in analytics, total users, traffic, performance data, all visible directly inside the platform. You don't need a separate analytics tool plugged in on top. There's also a social content creation feature built in. Base44 can generate promotional posts for Reddit, LinkedIn, and Instagram directly from inside the product. Your app gets built and distributed from the same place. Custom domains are included. You can connect a domain you already own or purchase one directly through Base44. No default project URL, no third-party registrar setup. There's a built-in security checker. Before you publish, it scans your app for vulnerabilities. If it finds something, it fixes it. You don't need to understand what a security audit involves. It just handles it. Base44 also supports native AI agents. You can deploy automation directly inside your app without connecting to external AI tools or APIs. It's part of the platform. And for anyone who does want to get into the code, you can. There's direct code editing built in. Beginners never have to touch it. Developers can go as deep as they want. Everyone gets what they need. Publishing is usually where everything gets complicated. You've built something, it works, and now you have to figure out hosting, deployment pipelines, platform-specific builds, and submission processes. Base44 keeps all of that in one place. For web, you publish directly using Base44's infrastructure. No external hosting account, no deployment config. Your app is live the moment you hit publish. For mobile, Base44 wraps your app into native iOS and Android builds. You don't rebuild it for each platform. It handles that automatically. And before you submit, there's a guidelines checker that reviews your app against Apple's and Google's requirements, so you catch rejections before they happen. And if you ever decide to move on, export your entire project as code at any time. You're never locked in. You own everything you build. On pricing, Base44 has a free tier that already includes the core stack: database, authentication, and hosting. On any other setup, those three things alone would cost you money separately. Paid plans run from around $20 to $160 a month, depending on how much you're building. Most people land on the $40 plan. Compare that to hiring a developer. A similar app built traditionally costs thousands upfront just to get started. And that's before you account for hosting, backend infrastructure, and integrations, all of which add ongoing cost and complexity. With Base44, you're getting the same build and deployment capability for a flat monthly cost, with no extra layers to manage. Think about everything we just went through: a portfolio site, a full productivity app, a 2D game, 3 completely different builds, 3 completely different complexity levels, and the process never broke down. There was no point where you had to stop and figure something out separately or reach for another tool just to keep moving. Everything stayed in one place, and it kept building on top of itself without losing momentum. That's what actually makes Base44 different. It's not just that it builds faster, it's that the usual breaking points, the database setup, the auth wiring, the deployment confusion, those just aren't there. The gap between I built something and something is actually live and working used to be where everything died. Base44 closes that gap. Links in the description. Go try it yourself. You'll see exactly what I mean.